Do you really live in a remote village or do you live in a town?
Well, live in really rural,
Really rural areas
swamp, near the swamp, and
near swamplands. Yeah, there's no traffic here. There's really not many cars. I mean, we don't have electricity at our home. Hey, everybody, welcome back to our channel. My name's Emily, and this is my husband, David. We thought we'd sit down today and answer some of the wonderful questions that you've been asking so you can get to know our family a little bit more. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right in. The first question someone asked is, why did you move back to Uganda? What do you think, honey?
spend more time with family and show the kids my roots.
Yeah, it was a pretty easy decision for us. While we miss our family in the US very, very much, uh, this is also home. So we wanted to make sure our kids grew up knowing what it was like to be a Ugandan. And as you'll hear as we answer other questions, Uganda feels like home for me too. This isn't my first time here. So we were ready for a change of pace. The US is go, go, go all the time. And yes, there's great opportunities there, but the opportunity to be together with our family and just really enjoy time in a slower pace with our kids just really presented itself here in Uganda. And so when opportunity arose, we said, yep, count us in. And we boarded that plane and got back to Uganda. All right, what's the next question?
Where you're located.
Where are we located?
Well, we're in Eastern Uganda, we're in Toronto.
Tororo district. We live, 45 minutes?
Yeah, about 45 minutes from Toronto.
45 minutes from Tororo town. And so that kind of goes into the next question. Someone asked, do you really live in a remote village or do you live in a town?
Well, live in really rural,
Really rural areas
swamp, near the swamp, and
near swamplands. Yeah, there's no traffic here. There's really not many cars. I mean, we don't have electricity at our home. We do have solar, which provides our electricity, but there are no power poles in our community. So uh, think of it how you might like, but we would describe it as an extremely remote village community. And so you might ask, why do we live in this particular community? And so, I mean, do you want to speak to that? Why here? Why do we live here?
it's home. Here, that's where I was born. So it's cool to be in the village that in the city. So
It's home. Our next door neighbors are David's dad and David's brother and cousins and uncles and aunts. And I mean, every day for us is a family reunion. That's the truth. And so not only are we getting to watch our kids grow up, we're getting to watch all of our extended families' kids grow up too and be there for one another. That's pretty special. Okay, what's the next question?
if you're a national, sure.
What are our nationalities?
I'm Ugandans.
David's a Ugandan, as you might have guessed. Some years back, he became a naturalized U.S. citizen as well, huh, honey? So David is a dual citizen, a Ugandan and an American as of a few years ago. I was born and raised in the United States and am a U.S. citizen.
Where did you and your husband meet?
Where did we meet? We met here. I mean, not here in this particular couch or in this particular village, but David and I met in Uganda 15 years ago now. So 15 years ago, we met and became friends. And some years later, ended up being together. And so we've now been married 13 years and have a beautiful family together. We married here in Uganda and started our life here. And so when we talk about this being home, Uganda feels like home to me too, because I've spent a whole lot of my adult life here in Uganda.
So, where do your kids go to school?
Where do our kids go to school? They go to school here in our house.
They're going to college.
And so the kids are going to be starting school for the new year very soon. And they're actually going to school online. And so currently, we decided that the best thing for our kids in this moment in time, as we were kind of transitioning from the US to Uganda, was to enroll them in a online school that is based in the US. And so the kids will be entering ninth grade, fourth grade, and second grade, respectively. And we're really, really excited to see how online schooling is going to go for the kids.
Okay, why a fish farm?
Okay, honey, tell us, out of all the businesses you could do, why did you decide that a fish farm was what you wanted to pursue?
Well, there's been a few years since I kind of started a fish industry cropped up in Uganda, and people are like having farms, and I was trying to see what we can do. And then, when I came back to the village a few years ago, and it was like, actually, because, when I was a kid, we used to go fishing around, and then, after a few years, when I came back a few years ago, I checked, and there was no fish. There was less fish and all that. And there we can do something in the village, something that can help the community in terms of, protein and all that. So, and also employment. So that's when we started the fish farm this year.
So that's something that's really important to David and to me, is that not only are we going to be able to bring fresh fish to this community, we're bringing jobs. It's pretty special. We're a very small business right now, but it's pretty special, even with the few folks that do work for the farm currently, to say things like, "Hey, I don't need to be in Kampala anymore to find a job. There's good employment right here in our village where we live." And that person's now able to stay at his house, home with his wife and his kids, and work every day and get paid well. He doesn't have to go away and find a job in one of the big cities. And so that's something that honestly, it's exactly why we're doing what we're doing.
So how many ponds do you have?
How many ponds do we have? Fish ponds.
We currently have about 30 fish ponds, and 28 is stocked up with fish.
And how many fish do we have currently?
128,000.
So we have tilapia and catfish in the ponds. And so that's what we've been raising thus far.
How long does it take? How long does it take to raise fish?
Yeah, that's essentially what it's asking. So I think what that question is asking is, from the time the fish go in the ponds as, tiny fingerlings, like, the size of your pinky finger, how long does it take to go from that tiny amount to get to a point where you can then harvest the fish?
And also, catfish takes about, between 6 and 8 months, but depending on the sizes, if you want medium size or you want like 1 kilogram, you get about 5 months to get about 4 gram. There's a 7 month, 8 months to get about 2 to 3 kilogram. So tilapia, it takes a little bit longer, about 8 months. So, to get about 700 grams. So it takes a minute.
Well, the reality is that this will be our first harvest. And as we've told you all along, we're learning as we go along.
Yep.
And so we don't really have the answer to that question yet, but we'll keep you posted once we harvest and take you along for part of that journey as well too. Um, but with that being said, thank you for your questions. Thank you for your interest in our family, in the
Thank you for
fish
watching.
farm. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. There's so much more to come from our family here in this community, and we can't wait to share it all with you. Thanks for watching.